Hey folks, this is Gabe at Security Baron, and today we have quite the showdown, Scout Alarm versus SimpliSafe. In today's comparison of Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe, I'm going to go over the key similarities, key differences, installation processes, monitoring options, customer support, and finally the mobile application so that you have all the information you need to make the right decision. If you'd like to see a list of our favorite home security systems, Google Security Baron Best Home Security Systems. If you have a question about today's comparison, leave us a comment and I'll get back to you. Now, I'd like to begin today's comparison of Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe going over their key similarities and differences, beginning with the similarities. Now, Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe both have do-it-yourself installation, cellular backup, and flexible month-to-month contracting. And a key difference between the two systems is that SimpliSafe only lets you do professional monitoring, whereas Scout Alarm will let you do self-monitoring. But one important thing to note with Scout Alarm and its self-monitoring package is that if you'd like to use your camera with that self-monitoring, you will have to pay a monthly fee to do so. So those are some of the key similarities and a key difference between Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe. So the first element that we're going to compare today between Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe are their installation processes. Now let's begin with Scout Alarm, where I have to say you just need to be patient. It actually is a pretty straightforward setup, but I'll be honest and say that I made the mistake of trying to go about it a little bit too quickly and made it last longer than it should have. It's generally straightforward. You'll take out your mobile application, you'll sync it with the Scout hub, and you'll just begin adding each device, each accessory to the mobile app and the hub itself. And that sync goes pretty quickly. So you'll take the door sensor, put it up, sync it, and then I had no issues with my door sensor detecting that the door was being opened or closed. Same with the motion detector. Once I actually set it up patiently, I put it up in a corner and it very quickly began to detect motion. Now, the camera was a little bit trickier than I think it needed to be. The power adapter is at a bit of a weird angle, which kind of makes it a little bit difficult just to get that power adapter connected. And then you'll realize that you can't actually use the camera until you begin paying Scout Alarm, and that isn't particularly clear when you're setting up the system. So you might set it all up and just wonder, why is this camera not working? It's because you haven't paid for it to work yet. That is just something you have to do with Scout Alarm if you want a working indoor camera. So overall, that camera worked pretty well. The system worked really well. I got all the functionality that I would expect from a home security system with just a little bit longer of an installation process than I would have liked. Now, when it comes to SimpliSafe, a company that literally puts simple in its name, I have to say that they really can pride themselves on their easy installation. They always talk about no drills, no tools, no technical skills required. And that's the case because I have none of those things. Now, putting together SimpliSafe is simple. You take out the hub, you plug it in, and it talks to you. Everything comes pre-programmed. So when you take out your keypad and place it up, take your window and door sensors and place them in their respective frames. And then you take out your motion detector and put it up in a corner so they can capture everything. Immediately, everything works. I started moving around. I was told that something was going on in my home. I opened a door. I knew immediately that the door was opened, and all of this just synced up automatically. The entire installation process was really, really straightforward, and I appreciated the time that I had on my hands when I got finished. So when it comes to who wins in installation processes between Scout and SimpliSafe, I have to go with SimpliSafe. Now, the next element we're going to look at in our Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe comparison are monitoring options. Now, we love to see professional monitoring, and by that we mean that 24/7 team of professionals to have your back and cellular backup. So just in case something happens to your system, you can still get out that emergency notice, that alert, just the things that matter to keep you safe. Now, with SimpliSafe, you have two options. And I should mention that every SimpliSafe system requires that professional monitoring and cellular backup. So that's a plus in my mind. Now, you have two options with the standard plan, which is $14.99 a month, and the interactive plan, which is $24.99 a month. And that interactive plan is going to get you notifications, remote control of your systems, 30-day cloud storage, and smart home integrations. So that tends to be the one we lean towards with SimpliSafe. Now, Scout Alarm has a few options. You can self-monitor and pay nothing, but know that you get no camera functionality. Now, you have two paid options. You have the Always On for $9.99 a month and the Always On Plus, which is $19.99 a month. Now, with each of those plans, you get remote control of your system, camera functionality, smart platform integrations, and cellular backup. But only with the Always On Plus plan will you get professional monitoring. Now, when it comes to contracts, both Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe are rather flexible, giving you the option to just have month-to-month contracting. But I will note that Scout Alarm does give you a pretty good discount if you decide to sign up for 1 year of their monitoring. And the thing is, you don't have to really be beholden to that 1 year, because if you decide to break that contract at any point, they will give you a pro-rated refund. And that's pretty solid if you ask me. Now, when it comes to their moving policies, they're identical because they're both do-it-yourself installation systems. You'll simply pack up the system, move to your new home, make sure you alert the company to where you've moved to, and reset it up and you're ready to go. So overall, very easy contracts and moving policies with both Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe. But if I have to pick a winner for top system for monitoring, I'm going to go with Scout Alarm for their flexibility and affordability. Hey, all right, quick break. I hope you're enjoying our Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe comparison. If you'd like to be kept up to date on all the newest movements in the smart home security space, please subscribe to our page. All right, let's get back to the video. Now let's move on to the next element of our Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe comparison, customer support. Now, with Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe, you can write in an online form, email them, give them a call, or if you just want to go solo, you can check out their online support centers. Now, anecdotally, I can say that when I had issues with the Scout Alarm camera, I gave them a call and had a really positive experience. The customer support representative was very knowledgeable and they didn't try to push anything onto me. So often you'll call these numbers and they'll try to push something onto you or not actually know what they're talking about, and that was not my experience with Scout Alarm. And I also have to say that I didn't have an experience with SimpliSafe because everything just kind of worked right out of the box in the manner in which I was expecting it to. So I don't have any anecdotes about SimpliSafe. Now, when it comes to looking at the systems that we have today and other people's experiences, I actually looked for similar systems on Amazon because I could not find the Summerfort security system from SimpliSafe or the system that I have from Scout Alarm. So I got a similar 9-piece system on Amazon for Scout and a 12-piece system for SimpliSafe. Now, when it comes to Amazon reviews, the Scout Alarm doesn't have a ton, but it does really well with what we see. It has 4.2 out of 5 stars, and of the 6 reviews that mention customer support, 5 of those were positive. Now, with SimpliSafe, it has 3.5 out of 5 stars, and it definitely has more mixed reviews when it comes to the customer support team. Now, if we look at Google, Scout Alarm has a full 5-star rating and really positive customer support comments, whereas SimpliSafe has a 3 out of 5-star rating and an equal number of positive and negative comments in relationship to customer support. So if I had to go ahead and choose who wins here when it comes to customer support, I'm gonna go with Scout Alarm. Now, the final element we're gonna compare today between Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe is the mobile application. And this was kind of a weird experience for us because we had initially rated Scout Alarm and then we went into the App Store and all of the settings were reset. I mean, there were no ratings. We didn't know what to do. So we just looked at what Scout Alarm had been doing recently or how they've been doing with their customers. And the reviews weren't that great. Before, they'd been in the middle 3s, and so you were like, okay, it's a pretty decent app. And even me, I can say my experience with Scout Alarm, even recently, was pretty, okay. It wasn't anything that I thought in terms of like a critical failing, but it also, it wasn't an app that made me want to stick around for a super long time. But it appears that people recently have not been enjoying their experience with Scout Alarm. And we kind of had the opposite experience with SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is rated around the low 3s. People really did not enjoy the experience with the SimpliSafe app initially. Personally, once again, I didn't see any critical failings within the app. I found it relatively intuitive, but nothing I'm going to write home about in terms of an experience. But recently, people have been really talking about how much the recent update has improved their experience. And then we looked at the numbers, and all the recent ratings for SimpliSafe are 4 or 5 stars. And by recent, I mean anything in 2019, anything at the end of 2018, and that's pretty impressive. So they've really had this upward trajectory as a mobile application, and we don't really know what's happening with Scout Alarm. So when it comes to a winner for mobile application, we're going to give it to SimpliSafe. Let's do a quick recap of every element that we compared today between Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe. Installation, here we give the nod to SimpliSafe. It's just too easy with everything pre-programmed to set it up within 30 minutes. Monitoring options, here we give the nod to Scout Alarm for their flexibility and affordability. Customer support, here we give the edge to Scout Alarm because their high ratings in both Amazon and Google reflected our personal experience. Mobile application, here we give the nod to SimpliSafe because they seem to be doing everything they can to improve the user experience on the mobile application. All right, now we've come to the end of our Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe comparison, and thanks for sticking with us. It's been a long journey, and you want to know which is right for me, but you've also been paying attention and notice that it's 2 and 2 when it comes to the elements of comparison. If you want a more affordable, more flexible monitoring system, you're going to go with Scout Alarm. Also, if you just want a better customer support experience, you're more likely to get it with Scout Alarm. However, if you just want the better overall experience, you might want to go with SimpliSafe because they do have a really simple installation process, and they have that really slick new mobile application that people are really loving, myself included. So I don't think you can go wrong with either system. Of course, that's dependent on your personal preferences, but me, in terms of overall experience, I'm leaning towards SimpliSafe because when you have that installation and that mobile application, even if I'm paying a little bit more monthly for the professional monitoring, I can really appreciate just how smooth that entire user experience can be with SimpliSafe. So that concludes our comparison of Scout Alarm and SimpliSafe. If you appreciated today's video, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. As always, this is Gabe Security Baron. Be secure.